First, welcome to the video. Today we'll explore the late bloomer's dilemma, whether to buy a home or keep renting when your rent is dramatically cheaper than owning. We will examine cash flow, break-even math, retirement catch-up strategies, and how flexibility can be a hidden financial advantage. We'll also include a couple of quick quizzes to help lock in the concepts. By the end, you'll have a clear, step-by-step plan to decide whether to prioritize investing over homeownership without guilt or confusion. Next, here's our roadmap. We will start with the core dilemma and your cash flow. Then, we will quantify rent versus buy using simple break-even math. After that, we will move into a retirement catch-up strategy designed for late starters. We will then cover why flexibility and liquidity can outweigh early homeownership. Finally, we will consolidate an action plan and test your understanding with quick quizzes. Before we dive in, an important note. This video is for educational purposes only and is not individualized financial, tax, or legal advice. Your situation may have unique constraints or opportunities. Please consult a fiduciary financial planner and relevant tax professionals before acting on the concepts presented here. Moving on, let's anchor the numbers. You're taking home roughly $10,000 per month and you're debt-free. That combination creates exceptional cash flow. If your rent is significantly lower than the total cost of owning in your area, that gap is not a weakness. It's your superpower. The objective is to redirect the surplus into high-impact savings and investments, rather than prematurely tying up capital in a lifestyle asset. Homeownership can be great, but it's not inherently a superior investment, particularly in high-cost markets or when your rent is unusually low. Now, let's quantify the advantage of cheap rent. Ownership cost includes more than the mortgage, taxes, insurance, maintenance, HOA if applicable, and the impact of closing costs over time. If that total is much higher than your rent, the monthly difference becomes a powerful investing engine. A practical rule of thumb is that if the break-even period for buying is beyond 10 years, renting and investing that difference is typically superior. Set up automatic transfers that capture the exact monthly difference and route it into diversified investments. Always model scenarios using conservative long-term return assumptions to avoid overestimating future growth. Next, let's compare rent and ownership at a high level. Renting often lowers the monthly burden in expensive markets and minimizes maintenance costs. It also offers flexibility to move if your job or life changes. Meanwhile, buying can bring stability and potential long-term appreciation, but it often increases monthly outflow, adds maintenance and repair responsibilities, and reduces flexibility. Home equity is valuable but illiquid and subject to market cycles. We want to align your choice with flexibility needs and retirement goals, not social pressure. Continuing, use a simple decision flow. First, ask if the ownership cost meaningfully exceeds your current rent. If yes, check the break-even period. When that period is 10 years or longer, the default is to rent and aggressively invest the difference. If the cost gap is small and you are confident you will stay in the same area for at least 5 to 10 years, buying can be considered. However, if you have career or family uncertainty, prioritize flexibility. Cheap rent is not a compromise. It's an opportunity to acquire more productive assets faster. Now, let's engineer the retirement catch-up. Start by maximizing high-limit employer plans, such as a 401k or 403b. Front-loading contributions can help if cash flow supports it. Next, fund a Roth IRA if eligible, and consider a backdoor Roth strategy if your income is above the thresholds. If you have access to an HSA, treat it as a long-term investment vehicle by paying medical expenses out of pocket and allowing the HSA to grow. With remaining surplus, use a taxable brokerage to purchase low-cost, diversified index funds to keep your capital liquid and compounding. Keep a 6-month emergency fund. Minimize idle cash beyond that. As a benchmark, many experts suggest having roughly 3 times annual expenses saved by age 40. Revisit your plan annually to optimize contributions, fees, and taxes. Meanwhile, remember the value of flexibility. A 30-year mortgage stretching into your late 60s can constrain your choices. Liquid investments in taxable accounts and robust emergency reserves make it easier to pivot for career changes, family needs, or market downturns. Renting can reduce stress and increase negotiation power during transitions. Use your current advantage to build a sizable, liquid down payment while staying invested. Then buy only when the math clearly favors ownership, or when your retirement targets are securely on track. Next, let's test your understanding. The question is, If rent is dramatically lower than the total cost of ownership, and the break-even period to buy exceeds 10 years, what is usually the financially superior move? Your options are: 1. Buy a home now to start building equity. 2. Keep renting and invest the monthly savings difference. 3. Split the difference by buying a smaller home with an adjustable rate mortgage. 4. Wait for rates to drop and then buy immediately. You may pause the video now to think about your answer. We will discuss the correct choice in the next section. Now, the correct answer is to keep renting and invest the monthly savings difference. When the break-even period is beyond 10 years, the opportunity cost of locking up capital in a home typically outweighs the benefits of ownership. Investing the difference allows compounding to work in your favor, particularly when markets are reasonably valued and your rent remains low relative to ownership costs. Next, here's a second question. For a late starter in their mid-30s with strong cash flow, which funding order typically accelerates retirement security the fastest? Option 1. Taxable brokerage first, then 401k or 403b, then Roth. Option 2. Max of 401k or 403b, then Roth IRA or backdoor Roth, then HSA if eligible, then taxable index funds. Option 3. Only contribute to a savings account until the housing market cools. Option 4. Buy a house first and start investing later. You may pause the video now to consider your answer. We will go over it in the next section. Now, the correct answer is to maximize contributions to high-limit employer plans, such as a 401k or 403b, then fund a Roth IRA or use a backdoor Roth if needed, add an HSA if eligible, and finally invest excess in a taxable brokerage using low-cost index funds. This order harnesses tax advantages first and preserves liquidity for flexibility. Next, let's consolidate the key points. Cheap rent is a powerful tool, not a setback. If the break-even period for buying exceeds 10 years, rent and invest the difference. Prioritize tax-advantaged accounts to accelerate compounding, and then use taxable brokerage accounts for liquidity. Recognize that a long mortgage reduces flexibility. Buy when the numbers and your life horizon align. Push hard toward having roughly 3 times annual expenses saved by 40, and adjust as needed. Finally, here's your action plan. Quantify the ownership versus rent monthly numbers and estimate the break-even. Automate investments of the monthly cost difference. Max out tax-advantaged accounts, then allocate surplus to a taxable brokerage and diversified index funds. Keep a 6-month emergency reserve and minimize idle cash beyond that. Build a sizable, liquid down payment while your portfolio compounds. Choose to buy only when the math clearly shifts in favor of ownership or when your retirement targets are secure. As we wrap up, thank you for watching. If you found this valuable, please like the video, share it with someone who could benefit, and subscribe for more practical, numbers-first money content. In the comments, let us know your plan. Will you rent and invest the difference, or buy later when the numbers align? Your experiences can help others make smarter decisions.